Our devotional thought from Proverbs today deals with naivete and people who just lack common sense. Now look with me in chapter 7, verses 6 to 13. While I was at the window of my house looking through the curtain, I saw some naive young men, and one in particular who lacked common sense. Now they're all naive, but one in particular lacked common sense. He was crossing the street near the house of an immoral woman, strolling down the path by her house. It was at twilight in the evening as deep darkness fell. The woman approached him, seductively dressed and sly of heart. She was brash, rebellious type, never content to stay at home. She was often in the streets and the markets, soliciting at every corner. She threw her arms around him and kissed him. And with a brazen look, she said, "Now, would you look at that? Look at the fact that all young men are naive. But there's being naive, and then there's lacking common sense. Now, how does a lack of common sense act? Number one, he crossed the street near the house of the immoral woman. He went walking close to sin. Now, please forgive me, brothers and sisters, but it is just a total lack of common sense. It is total foolishness to go over close to sin and think that you're not going to fall into it. You know, this young boy, he just wanted to go over there and see what there was to see. He had no common sense. And the next thing you know, he's caught up in sin. So he crosses the street and he goes down the path of her house. And it's at the right time of the day when things are a little harder to see. Now, beloved, straight up talk. You cannot enter into an environment of sin, knowingly enter into an environment of sin, and think you're going to walk back out unscathed. Jesus teaches us to pray, "Lord, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil." Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. I like that translation. Matthew 6. Now, beloved, people laugh at me. I was teaching a young man one day and I was saying, "Listen, you need to learn to stay as far away from sin as you can." He said, "Why? I'm not afraid of it. The Holy Spirit is in me." And I said, "You just showed a complete lack of common sense. I don't want to see how close I can get to sin and not get burnt, because you always get burnt. Learn to not cross the street. Learn to not go near it. Learn to not stroll and go slowly through an environment of sin." All that shows is a lack of common sense.